So right now, you are here on your YouTube journey, aren't you? Waking up to maybe a couple of subscribers and 100 views if you're lucky.
But you want to be here, flexing gold play buttons, watched by millions, insert your favorite YouTuber here. So how do you do it? What's the magic formula to becoming a successful creator?
Long-term success is a result of consistency and dedication. But what does it take to become a good content creator?
If you want to become the next Mr. Beast, Casey Neistat, or Stephen Graham, you need to be implementing the same strategies that successful creators are doing that you currently may not be doing.
And make sure you stick around to the end, because our final tip will give you a whole new perspective on being a content creator on YouTube.
And let us know in the comments below, where are you right now? Each day, how many views is your channel getting?
So let's start with what is probably the most important thing you haven't yet thought about, and that's identifying your target audience.
Rob, we talk about this all the time, and I think what we could do this time is play a little game. We're going to use the vidIQ channel as kind of our reference here and talk about how we have determined our target viewer, which is you.
I like games, Dan. Fire away. Come on, bring it on.
Okay, Rob, so for the vidIQ channel, what would you say the age bracket is that you are making YouTube videos for?
13 to 30.
And how about demographic-wise, their gender, their location?
It's currently 80% male. We would like to get that to a more 50% split, of course. Location-wise, English-speaking audience. United States, England, Australia, Canada. Bring them all on.
What would you say for our audience the primary pain points are that they're trying to address?
Small creators struggling to understand how YouTube works and believing that they think that some all-powerful algorithm is against them.
When you speak to your audience, what kind of language are you going to use? Like, what are some of the nuances that you might use to help get your points across?
So people come into YouTube wanting to know how to get more views, how to get more subscribers, how to monetize my channel. Why am I getting copyrights? Obviously, it will go into a lot more detail, but that's the entry point, the level of education our viewers are currently at.
This is an exercise that any creator can do for their own channel, and it can go way deeper than that too. The goal, though, is to understand exactly who you're making videos for.
So once you've established a target audience, you want to consider how you're going to communicate with them. And you have one superpower. You are the only you on YouTube.
Being you on YouTube is going to help lend more authenticity to your content, more credibility to your content. Ultimately, it's going to make you a more trustworthy creator.
And viewers are going to see that when they watch your content. They're going to feel your authenticity, your uniqueness, your own voice, and you're going to be able to engage better as a community.
One important thing that I personally took for granted when I started on YouTube is making enough time to create YouTube content in the first place. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people talk about this. We all have the same 24 hours in a given day. There are some people who actually make time for the things they want to do, and some people who, instead of making time, make excuses. I was certainly one of the people who made excuses.
You are creating content not just for yourself, but for an audience. And they have certain expectations that you need to deliver on. Sometimes there are aspects of content creation that you may not enjoy doing, making thumbnails, writing titles, editing. You have to become skilled at all of these tasks and able to create a piece of content that somebody wants to watch. And all of that takes time, commitment, and dedication.
So what can really help you is to make YouTube a top priority in your life, like you would anything else, like you would a job, because ultimately that is the goal of a lot of creators, is for YouTube to one day become a job. One of the ways that you can make YouTube a larger priority is to not just upload more videos, but put more time into planning out your videos.
The first thing a viewer sees is your title and your thumbnail, and those will benefit greatly from planning before you record.
Planning out titles and thumbnails will obviously get you a lot of people in the door. And then the other thing you could be doing to retain those people is to make sure that the writing or the plans behind each video you make are solid. Now, I'm not saying every single creator out there should be writing scripts front to back for every single video they make. There are certainly cases where content creators can get a lot more out of a video if they just kind of let things happen around them. But even in those instances, you can certainly control the narrative by making plans for yourself. Take live streaming, for example. Just having a list of goals, things you want to make sure you address in that live stream, or things you want to have happen in that live stream, and aiming for those can lead to a much more structured live stream, and in turn, make it a lot more entertaining to watch.
And it just so happens that vidIQ can help you with some of these planning aspects. Go to Daily Ideas. If you're making videos, Daily Ideas will suggest up to 50 potential videos you could make every single day. Or you can just take a keyword, be it cryptocurrency, Minecraft, more views, put it into our title generator, and that will start to generate really curious angles of attack for your target audience.
I think another step in the process that a lot of people don't really take into account is the idea that you actually do need to do a lot of research on YouTube. If you're scripting your videos, obviously you need to be researching sources and making sure that you're presenting good, valuable information, but you also need to research in terms of just picking what topics you would like to cover, and Daily Ideas can certainly help with that. But of course, you know your audience better than anybody else. You need to be spending time in their shoes in order to best do that research.
It may often be the case that you have to do the research the day you press record. So allow time in your schedule to do that.
And there are some great apps out there that you can be using to help collect your information, cite your sources. You could be using something as simple as Google Docs, or you can use boards like Trello. You can even use something a little more robust like Notion.
And most of them have free options.
As a creator, I don't know about you, Rob, but one thing that's really helped me is to try and just remain curious about everything it is when it comes to my topic. I'm always trying to learn something new. A few ways that you can satisfy this curiosity would be to do things such as listen to podcasts related to your niche, or industry-related websites, blogs, subreddits, Discord servers.
Now, as you develop these research skills, when something is trending in your topic, you will have the experience and the skills to jump on that topic as quickly as possible and know where to get this information as quickly as you need to.
And we all know that being the first person to a trend can mean huge things for your channel, but you can't be that person if you're not keeping up with the stuff.
Now let's talk about what you should do after you've published your videos, and that's to review your metrics. I'm not suggesting that you should spend hours in the YouTube studio, but what you can do is start to identify key metrics that you can benchmark and aim to improve on.
Example could be your video's retention graph. Maybe an average video is getting 30 to 40% retention, which isn't great. Ideally, you want that number to be as high as possible. So with every upload, you can aim to do just a little bit better and try to go from maybe 40% to 45%, or 45% to maybe 50%.
Now, when you start to improve these metrics, what you're doing is exceeding expectations from the viewer. They see a lot of stuff on YouTube, but what stands out makes them stick around and watch more of your content.
You'll know you have this opportunity when you can look at a video and you're almost done editing it, and you could say, yeah, this is okay. And then you could think to yourself ways in which it can be better. And whenever you have those moments, those could be the difference between having a video that performs just okay or a whole lot better.
Now, believe it or not, folks, actual human beings watch your content. I know they all just look like numbers, but they are real people. And some of them are fellow creators just like you. They could be spying on you as a competition. How you should be treating them is fellow collaborators in your video topic.
Networking with other creators can be very intimidating, and it's honestly very easy to get it wrong, especially if it's the first time you're trying to build these relationships. I have a tip for you, and this way worked for me beautifully. Find your favorite creators on their favorite social media platforms, Twitter being an example. If you follow Minecraft content creators, and you happen to be one as well, and you see one of your favorite creators build something really cool and they share it to social media, interact with that tweet. Hit the like button, tell them how awesome you think it looks, and do nothing else.
Do nothing else? I don't get what you mean, Dan.
What I mean is, don't use these networking opportunities as a way to ask for something. Just form an organic relationship with another person by commenting on something they did, showing a genuine interest in what it is they're doing.
In fact, I would argue, Dan, try and offer something of value to this potential collaborator for free. Whether you're going to create a funky image for them, design some music for them, something that just lets them know that you are a fellow creator and you may want to collaborate with them in the future.
For me personally, one part of this that took me way too long to understand was I should really treat my channel as a business, and I should treat myself as a business owner, as a CEO of this channel. And doing that completely changed my perspective, not just in the way I look at my channel and the decisions I make for it, but even in those networking conversations we were just talking about. Am I presenting myself in a professional way in this very public environment?
Yeah, the skills you develop as a creator will make you become a leader to a certain extent. And I'm not meaning by telling people what to do, but you're leading by example with the message you are sharing with your audience and the impact it has on them. So even before you hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, you want to be considering how you're going to turn your channel into a business that makes revenue from multiple streams and makes it sustainable for you to turn it from a creative passion into a sustainable career. Make sure you infuse that passion and emotion as soon as you press record. Keep it all for the video, but once you step out of the video, then you are the CEO, the channel manager, the business owner, the entrepreneur. But don't go anywhere. Now that we've transformed your YouTuber mindset, let's offer a bonus tip, Dan.
That tip is to never stop learning. And don't take this for granted.
Successful content creators have mastered the basics, but they continue to learn every single day. Most people you see who are successful in what they do, be it a musician, a sports professional, a YouTuber, they have tens of thousands of hours of experience and learning behind them.
There are so many ways that you can apply this to your channel too. For example, do you feel really good about how your editing is going? Or do you feel like you could get a little bit faster? Why not watch a Premiere tutorial or whatever editing software you use to try and improve your workflow so that you can make videos even faster than you do now?
Or just watch more vidIQ videos, Dan. Long-term, I can't even get past 2 words.
Success is the word.
I know. And speaking of more vidIQ videos, YouTube mistakes. You as a small creator are probably making many of these right now. That's fine. Everybody does it. But the key is to identify them in order to fix them. And you can do that by watching this video over here, as well as subscribing if you want to.